that people know that you're still productive. That's the first one. The second one I was talking about was saying, look, in this economy now, as things are changing, people have to get their minds ready to know that things are shifting. So anyone who had a business before that was inside a brick and mortar shop must be ready to start thinking about some. What's to go to work online with your phone, with your Instagram, with your Facebook. You got to start. You got to transition your mind from working in one way to another way. See Samuel Kosu online. Samuel Kosu, good to see you online. And Onye is back. All right, Onye. So I'm giving them a recap on the radio.
Yes.
About what we just said. The first thing is that you've got to start thinking, as the world is changing, you must be ready to change with it. So your mind must transition from that mind of thinking, okay, it's only brick and mortar and that works. To think I've got to be mobile. I've got to use my phone as well. So that's the first part. Then the second part talked about here was saying, look, if you work for somebody, no one wants to pay you to sit at home and be unproductive. So that's what we're talking about. So share some more thoughts, and I'll translate back to them on the radio as well too.
Awesome. And the truth is, I don't think people would stay at home and intentionally be unproductive. I don't think
that's true.
I think
do on purpose,
I think most are just going to fail because they do not have the right psychological preparedness for this new lifestyle of ours. So, what are some of the things, right? Now, just for the sake of time, right, I'm just going to run through maybe one or two, three things that I think you can do to sort of like put a stamp in the mindset of your employers, so that maybe this is April now, somewhere May, June, when the company don't look the accounts, but they're like, yeah, man, we need to cut down numbers. They then begin to tick. And then somebody then says, hey, what about that guy that sent 2 emails and the grammar in the emails was just one kind?
Somehow,
or that guy that never shows up, on any of the group chats on time, or every time we try to call him, you have the kids running around all the place and then we can't really hear, So what are some of the things that people can do right now?
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just share that real quick to our radio. Hold on a second.
Yes.
So he just said, okay, what are the things that people can do right now? Because in about a month from now, companies will start looking and saying, look, our funds are lean, things are getting a little bit slow. Who do we need to start thinking about releasing? Maybe it's the guy that never showed up in the group chats, or the guy that didn't come to the Zoom calls, or the guy or the girl that was not always, didn't really show that they were relevant. So he wants to give us now 4 points or 7 points on what you can do to make sure that when they're looking at, when the books are lean, they don't think about you. All right, so share with us.
All right, fantastic. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is this. Number one, you need to understand that you're working remotely, but your mind needs to be at work. And the way to do that is you have to deliberately create a work schedule for yourself Monday to Friday. And that work schedule is simply creating a time. I have to be at work from 8 o'clock, and then I have a break time. I have 1 hour in between, and then I close at 5. You need to make sure.
Hold on. I love that one.
Yes.
I love that one. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. I said, right now you're at home, but you have to start thinking like this. I'm working remotely, but my mind has to be at work. So to do that, you must create a work schedule for yourself. That's true, because many of us are at home. We're thinking, okay, look, we're at home. I wake up at 9, wake up at 10, just chill. I'm in my pajamas. I'm not thinking about work until my boss sends a message to me on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't send a message on WhatsApp, I'm not checking in. So go on.
Yeah. So that's really important. So you need to create a work schedule. Number two, it's important because the truth is a high level of your productivity in terms of your mind. Because guys, listen, people don't see us now at work, but guess what they see? They see they see your mind, and by your productivity, by your output, people can tell if you are up to speed today, or your,
Wow.
and what is
Wow.
responsible
Wow.
for
Wow.
that is
This is
this.
fire here.
What is responsible for
Okay.
that under number 2 is food. You need to have breakfast and you need to work out in the morning. If it's just few push-ups every day, because once it pumps, once you have that morning routine, blood pumps and then your brain wakes up, have some food. Even if it's
Right.
just 2 slices of bread or, a cup of juice or tea or something, just put something in your stomach and make sure that you got active before, breakfast. So number 1, again, have work routine, set a timeline for yourself. I resume my work 8 o'clock. Number 2, I resume my work 8 o'clock. I have my break time and then I close, right? And then number 2, you need to get your mind off, because we don't see you physically, but we see your mind now. As an employer, we can see your mind. As a colleague,
Right.
we can see
Right.
your
We don't
mind.
see you, see your
And
mind. Right.
exactly. And if you don't have food in your stomach, your mind just has a way of operating at a certain level, because your brain don't need permission to do certain things. So while you think you're sending that email and you're typing the right word in, your belly don't tell the brain, say nothing inside, and slow you down. You have typographical errors, you're in that group
True. True.
chat,
True.
and then somebody just pisses you off. One small thing, you just vex. You're caught in anger. I did tell you, you go to anger, not in hunger. They do you while you're at home. So it's important to create a work schedule, eat food,
Okay.
breakfast,
All right. Wait. So,
and then
so
I'm
hold
going to
on.
go
Hold
to
on. Hold
number
on.
3.
Hold on before I get to number 3. Onye, I don't know if you're still there. I can't hear you. Okay. I lost you. Okay. So we lost them. I'll share back. I'll go back to them and give them the video again. So the second one is you've got to get food into your body, get something, some exercise, because if you don't do that, your brain will not respond as quickly as it should. I love that.
Absolutely.
Go on, sir.
Absolutely. Now we're going to talk about the third one. So you see, this is the most important one. This is number 3.
Okay.
For
Number 3.
anybody who works, if you work at the bank, if you're a
Okay.
marketing salesperson, customer service anywhere, you work for, I don't know, you're a law firm, university, school, anywhere at all. And in your work life existence, you have been waking up and going to work every day and coming back home. This will change your life in the next phase that we're going to. Except you are prepared to become entrepreneurs like us, and then you can avoid it and then just go. This one is this. When you wake up in the morning, you do your exercises, you have breakfast, you create a work routine, you do your exercise, and you have food. Listen, get dressed for work.
Yeah, exactly.
Get dressed for work. See,
don't stay in pajamas all day.
Yeah, no. Get dressed. See, if you're used to maybe a tie and a jacket, let me use somebody who works in the bank, right? It's okay. You can do maybe a shirt and put your jacket on top, right? Now, here's the thing. When you do that, right, you trick your brain into accepting a new life. Because remember, the life that we have lived thus far, passively or non-passively, we have trained the brain to respond to certain things, like going to work. So right now, if you allow the brain retrain itself into chilling, and then your boss calls you, you're watching Netflix, you then pause the Netflix, okay, yes sir, and you put the phone down. Chances are you will be tempted to continue maybe a few episodes before you respond.
Whatever that distraction is,
yeah, you want to go along, because they can't see you, so you be like, okay, no, I go down. But you see, you do not understand the urgency on the other side, right? So when you begin to get dressed for work, you train your brain to accept this new life that we're getting to. Remember, nobody prepared us for this. All of us just wake up, they just say, pandemic, stay at home. Yeah, so dress up for work. And then I'll go to the next one after your translation. Okay,
no, go ahead. We're actually going to listen to them, so go ahead and go.
Okay. So the next one, when I said dress up and go to work, the next one is this. In your space, no matter how small, no matter how big, you need to remodel your home.
Right.
What
Remodel
you need to
something.
do,
True.
you need to create an office space in your home.
Excellent
Find a
point.
nice
Very good
corner.
point.
Worst case scenario, you live in a one-bedroom apartment, right? Honestly, if you need to fold your wardrobe, fold the wardrobe. Push table somewhere to the wall, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Push table to the wall, put your small chair, put your small table lamp, put your book and your laptop and your computer on top, right? Now, follow me on this. You've created a work schedule, for yourself, and then
Right.
you have breakfast, you work out, right? You dress up for work, and then you go to work. That work that you go to is that space. Stop thinking that your
Exactly.
work is when they call you to respond to the email or when they call you to respond to a text or something. No, to a phone call.
Right.
Go to work on that desk. Now, side by side, this is what you do. Because we're moving into technological age, remember, when they're trying to get rid of people at work, here's what they're going to do. They're going to go for people who are not conforming to this new lifestyle, right? And the bridge between you and your employer is technology. So you need to stamp it in your employer's head that, see, I know the technology. So when I want to sack people and when I don't near me, because I know the technology. You can sack every other person, but when I don't sack me, because I use technology.
Don't come near me, right?
But guess what? You have to prove it to them. So guess what? This is what you do, right? See, as a matter of fact, if you're listening to me right now, you have a 9 to 5. Test this with your boss tomorrow. You go shock.
Okay.
Take your phone, right? Remember, you've created a work schedule. You've had breakfast. You worked out. You got dressed, right? As a matter of fact, when you dress up, for some of you, what you can do, try to walk outside your house. Get out of your door as if you're going to work. Stand outside for like 5 minutes. Breathe. Take the sun in. Open your door. Come back. Go sit down on this desk that you've created. And then set up your camera. Take a picture of you on that desk in front of your computer, and just try to send them a picture to either your team lead or your boss or your employer and say, oh, by the way, sir, I have created my own personal workspace at home. This is what it looks like. Be rest assured that I'm available from 7 a.m. to to 5, 6 p.m. every day, which is my work schedule.
Even if it's 9 to 2, just at least let them know something. Yeah. Good point.
And then your employers will begin to go, wait a minute. Who is this guy? Who is this girl? Right? Now, even if you have a group chat, you can send in there. Or you can suggest to say, guys, can we do like Zoom call or any of this virtual meeting stuff so I can just show you guys where I'm working from? Do that. Listen, guys, do not think this is a joke. Do not think it's a joke. Again, nobody will pay you to be incompetent. Nobody will pay you to waste time. And the only way you can convince them is when you can create that sort of physical imagery that says, wait, this person is working for us in his or her space. So when you do these things, put them into factors and then just make sure that people know what you're doing and things. Now, there are certain conversations. Yes,
hold on one second. Okay. No, I love those. Give us some excellent points. We're going to go off the radio now. So our show ends at 3 o'clock on the radio, but we're going to continue online here.
Wow, that's true.
If you're on the radio, don't worry about it, guys. Thank you for joining us on the radio today. KUFM, God bless you. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for the chance to continue. We're going to continue with Onye in a second, but I want to say goodbye to our radio audience. Please, please, please come back next week. Keep on watching KUFM. We love you guys. Thank you. And also, too, if you can catch us on YouTube, we're going to put the replay of this on YouTube as well, too. Okay? So, Onye, thank you for the chance to talk today on the radio. Guys, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. That's for our radio audience. For those of us on Instagram, we're continuing. All right. Go ahead. Goodbye, Onye. Thanks so much. All right.
Thank you, Onye.
Continue. Give us some great points. 4 points. Number 1, create a work routine. Number 2, you got to make sure you eat and exercise so your mind is still working. Number 3, get dressed. Don't sit around in your pajamas. Put on something that lets your mind know you have left the
retrain your mind.
Space. Yes. Retrain your mind. Number 4, remodel your home. Create some kind of workspace, no matter how small. Excellent. Good points. Thank you very much. So continue.
You're welcome, sir. I'm just going to wrap up this now and just talk about this one. I mean, there are a couple of things that we can go through. Oh, by the way, I have another Zoom training session tomorrow, so I'm going to be talking extensively on this.
Okay, tell us about that. Tell us on your page. How do
yeah,
we
it's on
connect?
my page. Yes, it's on my page. It's on my page. You see all the details there. You can just go register with the link and all of that.
Okay, so for those of you guys watching that are saying Onye is doing a great job, thank you for watching, guys. Go to his page. It's Onye Ubanatu 1. Connect to his page, and he's going to do a Zoom session tomorrow afternoon.
Yes,
that will teach you. You can get the Zoom link and everything on there. But you got to make sure you follow Onye. Onye's a great guy, great director, great mind. Follow his page. Follow his page. All right, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. And big shout out to eDigital. You can follow them as well. They're hosting that, so you can get all the details from them.
Okay, yeah. I'm seeing digital. I see them online right now. So I got to see
yeah. They're there already. Great guys.
Yeah, I see Larry. I see Mr. Larry Wills. Hey, Larry, how are you doing? Ivy Rooks, good to see you. Uncle Favor, good to see you guys. All right, let's keep talking. We're getting some good value here. This has got to be on our YouTube page, so that way people can go to YouTube and watch it again and listen. All right.
Awesome.
Go ahead. Continue.
Awesome. So I'm just going to wrap this up by talking about this. Now, the situations differ for a couple of people. I mean, there are people who, okay, we have single working moms, right? A mother with like 2 kids or a child and maybe a help or something. You have family members with kids, then some of them, they have like very younger kids who don't understand anything about remote working or pandemic. No, they don't care. They just, I need your attention, mommy, daddy, I need your attention now. That's so. And then we have very single people who are, just doing their work and blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the thing. For those of you with family, for those of you who live with people, it is one of the biggest challenge. Listen, might come from the people you even live with right now. And I feel the pressure sometimes, where, you want to go to work in the morning and then your auntie is like, I don't understand. You never wash plate too. And on a normal day, on a normal day, you would get out of the house for like 6 a.m. in the morning. But as far as your auntie is concerned, nobody you had to see like this. Wash plate now, or clean house now, or go on your mind, or you go to, there are a couple of things that you will have to deal with. So here's the thing. It is one thing to know these things that you must, accept or adapt into your life now. It's another thing to discuss it with your family members. So some of the things that you have learned today, please don't just think it's for you alone. Discuss it with the people you're living with. Because there's nothing as painful as you are on this important call with a client or a customer. Let's say you work in a bank and you handle a portfolio that runs into billions. And then you're on the phone with one big man. And then you're picking just the wrong pass and the nice scatter everywhere, that can be really, 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 really frustrating. You're on the phone with a client or your boss, and then you're on the phone, or you're just talking, yes, sir. Okay, I would do. And then maybe your auntie or your mother just didn't realize that you were on the phone and she just said that, she said, Osas, that you don't remove her for the plate. Wait a minute. Wait.
Oh my gosh.
That is not funny. So you have to discuss it, to let them know that once you are seated on that desk, don't shout. If you have to communicate with me, use your hand, because you don't even know if I'm on a video call. I'll tell you something that happened to me yesterday. I was trying to log into the company account on GT Bank, right? And for some weird reason, just a little challenge. And then I called my account officer. Just as it was ringing, it just occurred to me that, wait a minute, there's a lockdown, meaning she'll probably be working from home.
Right.
I hope she can. Yeah, I hope she can actually do this, And then I called her, and then boom, the voice I heard was so strong and solid, and that just gave me some sort of confidence. And she was like, oh, good evening, Mr. Onye. How are you, sir? And I was like, oh, the pandemic and blah, blah. And she was like, I'm at home, but we're all working from home. How may I help you?
Right.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's solid, you know. And then I teased her a bit, and then she was like, oh, yeah, let's get right into it. And then in 10, 15 minutes, she stayed on the phone for about 10 minutes trying to fix it. Okay, do this, do that. Okay, I just sent a mail now. Why, you know, but please stay on the phone, sir, you know, and stop. By the time I got off the phone, even me, myself, and I said, God, if somebody that collects salary can walk like this, me will get my own business.
All of you.
Yeah, I was really, really impressed. Now, you see, for a fact, that kind of person, a company will never let go of that person. You know why? If that person calls me tomorrow and says, oh, sorry, Mr. Onye, I will not be working here anymore. Why? Well, they were letting people go and then they let me go. No. If I have her team lead's number, I'll call the guy and say, look, if you people remove this girl, I am taking my money from this account. And the person will say, no, and they will ask you why. And you say, look, because she's very effective. In the pandemic, she did this, she did that. And they're like, really? And then these guys will go back to their engagers and say, yo, customers are complaining that this girl. So you see, it is important to know that you need to explain all of these things to your family so you can have a smooth working time. Tell them my break is between 1 and 2. So between 1 and 2, you know, we can play, we can do anything. Have the conversation with your kids. Make it as simple as possible, you know, and stuff. So once you do these things, I think you can begin to get into this lifestyle and then carry both your engager, your employer, even some of your customers and the family that you live with, you know, up, and then, you know, things just goes right. So that's kind of like the ones that I have right now. I just have one Jara one.
Okay, hold on. Before you go that, before you go that one, I'm just thinking, you know, for those who are watching right now and they have employees, you know, I would think that's something to do. This company you're talking about right now, hopefully they've trained their staff to actually become like that. So she had some training to tell them, no, look, they're still working, be like this. So if you have a company right now, suggest talk to your employees, tell them, look, if you're still working from home, still work as though you're in the office, because your mind, people will still call you and expect certain results. So I love that. I saw someone here, Professor Asifia said she was having a live class and her mother-in-law came inside talking to a student. That's very funny. Wendy said she enjoyed this, so that was very embarrassing. And then Enoch Edwards is saying, thank you, Onye, for your great mind. So they love what you're sharing. Very good. Ivy Rooks is sharing some good points too. So thank you for sharing. I see Ann Kite. She's saying hello to you, Onye. Good to see you. All right. So talk to us your last point so we can close.
All right, the last one, so we can close. So just in line with what you just said. So if you have a business, this is me just throwing in a little bit of an adversarial. You know, we're on the radio now. So I'm available for trainings if you have like small businesses with, you know, you and your team on how to just adapt to some of these changes. I also have a tech company that I partnered with, and they're also handling a lot of the tech side. We can set up like the tech side of things. You know, we'll give you the different options to communicate depending on your size. And I mean, if you have staffs that don't know how to use that very gang technology, we can create like very small modeled ones and things. All right, great.
Okay, so no. Go give us what's the company name? What's your name so we can actually follow and get these things? Share it.
All right, so it's quick. Just send me a DM. You know, and then we can take it off from there. The partners we're working with is Africans Living Fully. And, you know, just send me a DM. I'll take it off from there. I respond to my DM. I know it's celebrity, you know. If you look, I never get blue marker for my name. So, you know.
Okay, I won't talk. Continue. Right, let's go.
Great stuff. So good. So now the you know, I have worked in the last 15 years, literally traveling across Africa, the Middle East, you know, in different parts of South America, you know, but Africa extensively. So my work routine revolves around, you know, working in the field. You know, I've traveled with, you know, former presidents. I've traveled with top CEOs, documenting meetings and things. Now, one thing I have learned from these different work experience and exposure is the ability to function while on the field. So even with the pandemic and stay at home, lockdown, it really doesn't mean anything to me, because this is something that I have been doing almost all my life. The good thing for me, I have a habit of articulating my process. You know, it's funny, it's funny when I say this, and I say it with all sorts of pride, that I've never been through the four walls of a university before, right? And that will come as a shocker for a lot of people. But the truth is this. You know, I've had opportunities to speak at universities, including the prestige, you know, Benson Idahosa University as well.
I will have you back. We'll have you back again very, very soon.
You know, it's the family any day, you know. But here's the thing. For every time I get an opportunity to incorporate, you know, the typical learning structure, I engage in depthly. Now, the reason I'm saying this is a lot of you will have a hard time struggling with, you know, getting into this lifestyle, right? But understand that it's a process. And if it happens that you lose your job, right? Don't look at it in that light. See it as an opportunity that says, I am part of the people that will be transiting into the next level, but in a different way.
True.
So, typical example, if we file a wood, right, to make a furniture, the things that come off the wood, they call them the sawdust or these other things, right? Those sawdust, things as well become, exactly, they become byproduct to other areas of the economy, right? The same thing, if I chew a sugar cane and I don't suck all the sugar finish and it's just that dry stuff. Now, there are companies who sees that thing as gold, and they use that as a byproduct to generate biofuel or biodiesel. They use that as byproduct to power up, you know, to produce electricity and things. Right. So listen, if anybody listening right now and you're caught up on the side where you perhaps lose your job, don't feel bad. Understand that what you then need to do is step into the realm of, you know, taking technology more seriously and asking yourself, what can I do with technology? Some of you can become teachers, online teachers to universities, to primary schools, to this, to that. Wow. So if you work in a bank and you're good in accounting, you know, mathematics and stuff, now is the time to apply to be a teacher, right? If you work in a beauty salon or any of this stuff, and then of course nobody they come anymore, now is the time to do home service, but you need to brand yourself in such a way that says, I'm 100% aware of the health condition, so I am adhering to CDC and all of that health stuff. So you see, don't be sad if you lose your job, you know. So there are great opportunities coming. So the last one I'm just going to talk about now is this: your communication, your style of talking in times like this. Watch what you say to yourself. Watch what you say to others. Watch what you say to yourself. Like I'm chatting with a couple of friends, and then they say to me, "Oh, Corona messed up everything." And I'm like, yo, Corona will come and go. Few years from now, when we will be talking to our great-grandchildren, and we will not be telling them that, I beg, you cannot fly private jet because Corona at one time spoiled economy for me. No. You need to pay attention to what you say to yourself, and then even as physical as your tone when you speak to your bosses and things. You know, like when you call somebody at work, right? This has happened to virtually 50% of us. You call somebody at work, and then the person goes, hello? And you're like, whoa. And you're like, sorry, are you at work? Am I disturbing you? And they're like,
right, exactly.
Yeah. I'm at work. I'm at work. And you're like, but why are you sounding like this? You know,
like I'm disturbing your life, really.
Exactly.
You're working right.
So understand that now that we're working from home, your tone must be solid at every point in time. So the closing is this: pay attention to what you say to yourself, and also pay attention to your tone when you speak on the phone, either to clients, either to your engagers, you know, and stuff. You know, now you see what I was saying, you know, bless some people, they don't distract you for back now. They don't say they like. So,
yes, my son, hey! Yeah, that's not come this is Nate's always saying hi, so you know we love having the family as part of our show. So
yes, hi, Nate. What's up, Nate?
All right.
I'm not sure he remembers me.
You probably
Good
does.
stuff.
All right. Anyway, but go
Awesome.
on, share your life so we
Awesome.
can close up.
Yeah, but you know, so these are very important, and you know, you've done the recap very well, and I've closed with saying that look, you know, you need to pay attention to what you say to yourself and also your tone when you speak on the phone, you know, because remember, again, just remind yourself, your employers can't see you. They can't see you, but they can see your mind. They can hear
It's
your
your
heart. They can
mind.
hear your mind.
Yes,
So it is
exactly. I love that.
important. It is important to make sure that your tone stays strong throughout this time that we're working from home. Thank you very much.
Wow, this is beautiful. Thank you for sharing those great points. I love that. That point is kind of like being part of the whole theme the whole time.
Yeah.
Is that they can't see you, but they can see your mind. They can see your heart. They can see your outputs, and that output
Yes.
is very, very important because that's what is going to determine how relevant you remain. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that with us today. Those are great points. Guys, Onye has been on fire today. If you missed any of it, please go back to our YouTube, catch the replay live, catch the replay on Instagram here, or I'll put it on YouTube so we can actually have it as a small teaching that we can actually use. I think maybe after this is over, I'll try to do a podcast with you so we can actually do a podcast and share these points out.
Anytime.
Anytime. Great points. Thank you for sharing.
And don't forget tomorrow, eDigital.
Yes, tomorrow on Zoom. What time is it on Zoom?
It's for 4 o'clock, but please just go to my page.
Go to this page,
and
right?
Yes, and then also follow eDigital, and then you'll see all of the details. All of the details with it, you'll find it there. And yes,
right.
3 p.m. 3 p.m. not 4. 3 p.m.
3 p.m. 3 p.m. on Zoom. So the line today is also eDigital Africa, right?
Yes.
eDigital Africa. Okay, great. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful, power-packed, excellent. We are going to make sure we put this out there for people to get again and again and again so they can actually become relevant and useful in this economy. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have a wonderful afternoon. We look forward to talking to you again.
Anytime, sir.
Thanks again. Okay, so let's say goodbye.
Bye.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you today, Onye. Thank you once again. Thank you, Wendy from the UK, Linda from America. I see Uyi from Lagos. How are you, Uyi? Thank you very much. Kewe, I see you again. Kewe, I think, is in the UK, I believe. I see, yes, who else is there? I see Queen Jennifer. Good afternoon. Who else am I seeing? I'm seeing eDigital Africa. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Wadia Collins. Thank you, Raw. Thank you, Constance. You guys did a great job. Thank you. Okay, let's see. This is CAKUXI. Okay, from the UK. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a wonderful show today. We're going to have this online as well too. Nate is saying hi in the background. We're going to be Nate. Okay, say goodbye, Nate. Say goodbye to everyone.
Bye.
All right. Okay, give me what I'm about to close. Okay. All right. So this will be on our YouTube. The channel is called Feb Idahosa. Go to Feb Idahosa on YouTube. Subscribe. Get the recap. We're also going to put this on our podcast for Marketplace Feb podcast, so you can get the details, get all the points, and continue. Guys, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate you. I'll get Onye back as well on the podcast. Thank you. I see Linda. I see Wendy. I see Wadia. I see Professor Asafia. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Someone asked a question about what do you do about intelligent staff who hate technology? I meant to ask Onye that, but because I didn't get a chance to ask him that question, we'll go ahead and ask him that question in the next one, okay? That'll be on the podcast. But thank you for your time, guys. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll be back again next week on Marketplace Feb at 2 p.m. on KUFM and also on Instagram. God bless. Have a good one. Bye-bye.